I want to remind you that all of our programs are recorded and available in English and in Spanish, which you can find on YouTube and Facebook. Today we have Andrea in the comments and Marisol in production. As you can see, I don't have a mask on because we're working from home, me and the rest of the team, but we're still here for you. You can communicate with us 672-8090 or email soc@socmilwaukee.org. All of this information is also available in the comments. Please give us your opinions, your thoughts, your likes, a share. We do need your feedback from the community, from you, so that we can keep going with our shows. We're going to be continuing for July. And hopefully in the near future, we will be seeing you face to face when we're able to serve the public. So now let me say who will be here the rest of the week. Thursday, we have Jeanette Torres. She is with COVID-19 Community Outlook. So Marlene will be doing that interview. That's tomorrow. So now, before we start our primary interview, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Maria Watts, who's our guest today. She's coming back to tell us a little bit on our last episode in this series about home buying. As I've mentioned, Maria Watts, she has been working in housing for more than 30 years. She's working right now with the Wisconsin Home Buyers Economic Development Organization, which is better known as WHEDA. So I want to emphasize that Maria is not here to give us any legal advice. And what you're hearing today on the show is just information, educational information. So let's bring on Maria. Hi, Maria. Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and help the community. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for taking the time. This series we've been talking about for a few months. And I'm so glad that we have this opportunity to talk, to give out the information. It's so important, especially when we're talking about buying a house. I don't know how to explain it. It's just very important, very exciting in someone's life. It's big magnitude, of course, Alan. It is the biggest investment that you're going to make in your life. So it's important to be educated about the progress of the process. So today we're going to be talking about what we talked about already, the first part of the process, educating yourself, where to start when you want to buy a house. The next one, how to buy the house. And now we're going to talk about how to upkeep your house, right? Mm-hmm. So let's start with what kind of help is available, or what's available for people that are preparing their house, or they've been in their house for a while and maybe their boiler broke. What can they do in that kind of a case, in that situation? How does it affect the value? That kind of thing. Of course, it all depends on the situation of the incomes of the families that we're talking about. There is a program called weatherization, and that does help with appliances, furnace, the roof. if you have problems with your roof, insulation in the homes sometimes can help with windows. So here we're talking about weatherization. But to know how all of that works is to know the community agencies. So we're going back to the UCCs, housing resources, and acts. So they all have bilingual people that can help explain the information, and it's all free. There are some programs that charge you, but there's usually a low interest rate. And if it's a necessity, then you do have to do it. So it is important. But before you're in that situation, especially if you're buying a house, it's important that we talk from the beginning about the house being a vehicle so that you get money back, especially through the taxes. Because when you do your taxes, there are a lot of deductions. The interest, for example, your property taxes. So, because you have those deductions, the government should return that money to you. It should be at least double of what you were getting before. So, my suggestion when we're talking about conserving the house is that money that they're giving you back is to save it, because we're going to need it either to repair the house or upgrade the house or maintenance. Also, we mentioned the house isn't just a place to live, it's an investment. It's not just, oh, I live here and if the something breaks, you have to have money to always be repairing and to put into the house. So that money that you get back from taxes is a way that you can keep repairing the house so that the value increases. So one of the things that I can't stop emphasizing, because I see it a lot, is that people don't know that, when they're putting more money and more money into the house, and the house is increasing in value, but they keep paying their mortgage insurance. So when they asked you if you have that 20%, my recommendation, I'll say it again and again, contact your bank. A lot of people already have a good relationship with their bank and say, hey, I want an evaluation of my house because I remodeled the kitchen or the bathrooms or a roof. So I think my house is worth more than when I bought it. So that amount that it goes up, it will help to take down the amount that you're paying monthly, but then also check with the banks and with the person that gave you the loan, because they should be like a contact, somebody that you maintain contact with, a guide that will help. You should trust them and say, you know what? How are the interest rates right now? Because lots of people are saying that they're refinancing. Does that work? Would that work for me? Yeah, actually, you're at 5% and now there's 3% available. So, yes. So, you need to have that communication. It's not just closing on the house and that's it. Also, loans to repair. Okay, I want to fix, something. So, then you need to have a certain amount of money on hand. So, don't take that money for buying a car or going on vacation, because then you're building up 30 years of interest. I don't recommend that. The money that you get from the house is to reinvert into the house so that the house increases in value. Really, that's the only way to get wealthy in this country. that's the way that we can understand on how we can accumulate wealth. Yep, you had just said that you should be keeping a relationship with, your contact at the bank. Is there, let's say I talk to my loan officer and I say, hey, I want to refinance because the interest level is lower. Does that person, or can that person say, no, it's actually not good for you, even though it really is? Yeah. It would be a new loan, and anybody that works in a mortgage gets a commission because it's a new loan. Because if you don't get it from them, you're going to get it from another person, and then they're going to lose. So it's in their best interest. So it's almost like a new loan for them. So let's say if it only goes down 25.25, and then that's $1,000 for refinancing, it's not worth it. You have to see, let's say an example. I want to refinance from 5% to 3.2%. So more than 1% of interest you're going down. So how much am I saving? $350, let's say. So the way to do the math it is, okay, 1,500 for the closing costs, $350. If I divide it up over the 1,500, how much time am I going to pay that off? It's less than a year? Then of course it's worth it. Okay, yeah, it's going to cost me now, but in less than a year, I'll save it back. And then every other year, I'm saving. So that's a way to look at it. A lot of people get sad and they're like, no, but it's costing $2,000 or $1,500. But you have to have some vision, that understanding that investment you're going to recuperate when you're not paying the same amount that you were before. Does that make sense, Alan? Yeah, of course. That makes sense. I was confused thinking about, I thought that the payment to the loan officer was based on how much we were paying after, mm, like the percent uh, was a certain amount after you got the loan. But you explained it. It's, like making a new loan, right? That's, and then the loan officer gets a certain percent of that. Yeah. All right. Okay, we can keep going. Also, I want to tell people, if you're listening, it's very important, if we're benefiting from doing something, and we have to tell each other in the group as Hispanics, hey, I did this. This is helping me, because your neighbor or your compadre or somebody else might, benefit too. You got to educate each other. A lot of us work so much, we don't have access to education and things like this. So if you get to that point where you're educated, educate other people. That way we can all benefit from everything that's been like this. Interest levels have never been as low as they are right now. Also, if you can change, maybe paying your house over 15 years instead of 30, and the payment is the same or a little less, even if it was like what you were paying before, you're taking off half of the term of the loan. So if I'm paying right now $900, let's say, for example, I pay 900, but it's over 330 years. So 30 years, mm, over $900 a month for 30 years. But if I refinance it and I'm paying $900, of course, you're saving. No, you're saving because you're taking 15 years of house payments off. So if you compare that, when you go to the bank, leave me the interest for 15 years and for 30 years and tell me how much the payment is for each. Over here, I'll save $1,000, but over here, I'll save over 15 years. So you have to look at that. Oh, not just, I'm just going to go for 30 years. Look at 30, look at 20, look at 15, and examine which is the best for you, and not just how much you're going to save monthly. Just look at the life of the loan. And we all know money is time. So that's one of the emphasis. That's Now let's talk about maintaining it and saving money, because sometimes we work just to survive and then we don't do anything with the loan or the house. It's really throwing your money away. I'm working, so I don't have time to see if the house is worth more or worth less. So we have to educate ourselves to be able to use money in the way that we need it. Yeah, we've talked a lot about interest rates. Can you explain a little bit about why interest rates have gone down so much? Or what is, well, it has a lot to do with the economy, and I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I can say that I built a house 33 years ago, and that was a government loan. It was more than a 19 the interest rate was 19%. So now if you compare it with 2.75 that I have for 15 years, it's marvelous. So you have to maintain that. Another thing, lots of people that are listening are going through problems because they are behind their payments because they lost their job. And then they start to think, we lost the house, we owe too much. You can't determine that. You have to look for help and see if you can save the house. What we're living in right now, where there's not enough inventory of homes, you can't lose your home because then you can't buy another one. So the same agencies that I mentioned, UCC, ACTS, Housing Resources Inc., they can guide you and let you know what you should do. The first thing that you should do is go to your bank. Don't let it happen. If you're a month behind, or you think you might not be able to, just communicate with your bank. I lost my job, COVID, this, or whatever it was. And then they will work with you. And if they can't, they'll send you somewhere that can help you. Maybe there's some money for people that are behind in their payments. Honestly, I can't say there is money because there could be, maybe they ran out. You do have to check it, but it will be determined in the moment that you need it. How much do you need? What is your situation? So those agencies are here to help you maintain your house, how to keep you being a homeowner. I know lots of people that just get sad and they're like, I can't, I'm too far behind. But just talk to your bank. The bank can be flexible and they will help you if they can. So don't take advantage of that. Okay, so talking about that, something that I do know is that the CDC has a moratorium that people, other than the mortgage, if they apply for certain programs through the pandemic, something like that, right? Yes, but I don't have the exact information for how long that will be for, because that money is through the agencies and through the bank, so I can't say exactly. Okay. So I wanted to make a comment. Is there possibly money with the American Rescue Plan? But that's not sure either, right? Everything is, there is money that is coming to the state of Wisconsin, but right now, and there's the city too. But we have to see how that is going to be impacted. We also have a program for people that are renting, for people that can't pay. So I don't think that's going to be extended too much more. But the important thing through this program is that you you talk to people that have these initiatives, that you call to the agencies that I mentioned, and that you get educated. Don't give up. And also, don't give up just because my credit's bad and I can't buy a house. I can't buy a house. Don't don't take yourself out. Okay. Renting now could cost more than being a homeowner. So, okay, no, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to save this. And every year that I live more and more in this house and I keep it up and I keep paying it, it's the value's increasing. So then when I retire, that's the money that I'm going to use. We have to think about those things. We all are going to be that age where we need to have something. And if we're going to be renting our entire life, we're going to have nothing. And that is so important that we prepare for that starting now. Of course. I wanted to talk a little bit about the like you mentioned before, maybe a person that's retired, my income is limited, I'm on a pension maybe, and the houses around me, the price is going up, and I can't pay what is needed to keep my house up. So what exists for me or for my families? If you can talk to me a little bit about that. Yes, there's an organization called uh-oh, Milwaukee United. So they have funds to be able to help with those kinds of cases because lots of properties are going up, which is good because your house is worth more and you have more money, but at the same time, you can't live in it because you can't pay the taxes. So there are initiatives that are helping, and everything is based on your income. Sorry about that. So some people are working with a fixed budget, so that can definitely help. Is there any help like from the state or any other identity? No, not right now. Well, I have been at the table with people talking about the same thing. I don't know if you have any more information about why is it that the city of Milwaukee is having such a problem more than others? How can I say it? Like, yes, we have more problems talking about eviction. It seems like the city is struggling even more. Well, honestly, in Milwaukee is because so many multifamily buildings are being constructed downtown, especially. So people can't live in these buildings that are so expensive. So then they go and they'll buy a house that's close by. And then they start, there's so much of a demand for the houses, or they try to construct multifamily buildings with lots of amenities. Like all kinds of modern things, the things that they usually don't have. So now, if the city, Walker's Point, South Side, the cheapest that you can find an apartment, one bedroom, we're talking $1,700, $1,800 a month. So then you see that they're going to keep building and keep building. Then people that are living there have to pay that much. And selling high, that's an option. So that's what's causing all of this. But the demand is so big, and it is so difficult to pay for that kind of infrastructure. But people need it. Those that work for Northwestern Mutual need to live close to where they work. So it's going to continue. Also, it's close to the lake, and that also increases the value of the house. And it's going to keep increasing. It's like a snowball that gets bigger and bigger, and that's going to keep happening. I think that the area of like National Avenue, they're going to put lots of money. Same thing, the house value is going to go up, and then people are going to continue to be displaced. When you're there, just you're trying to pay what you've continued to pay. I mean, you can pay a little more, but not that much more. So that's a problem that's going to continue. All right, I understand. I've thought a lot about that, and I've seen a lot of the people that we serve live in those zones. So as our organization, I think we want to take some steps some way or another to be able to help those people, to serve those people. Or how can I say it? Well, just to help them so that they don't become displaced, so that they don't lose their house just because they can't pay for it. Yes, definitely. All right. Well, I wanted to see if there's anything else. I think we talked mostly about everything that we wanted to cover. Everything was really good. But if there is anything else that you wanted to talk to, especially about maintaining your home or being a homeowner, just be informed. Right now, it's a difficult time to remodel your house because the costs just keep going up incredibly. Wood has gone up over 300%, and a lot of things you're trying to fix in your house require wood. So be careful with the way that you are including your money or putting your money into the program. Remember, it's not just a place to live, it's an investment. Keep your landscaping up. That's so important as well. Always want your house to look good. You want the house to be kept up so that the value stays or goes up in value. Not like we're talking about now with all this displacement, but so that the house isn't losing value. You don't want a $200,000 loan and the house only is worth 100,000. How are you going to do that? You sell it for 100,000, and how are you going to pay the other 100,000? So we have to be careful. Where are we putting the money? What are we investing it? And now everybody is so excited about interest rates, and some people are trying to pay more than what the house is worth, you're actually starting out with a negative number. Okay, it's worth 100. I'm going to give 125 because it's the house that I want. But you have to then see that you're actually losing money from the beginning. Um, the process of building wealth, not losing wealth. So you don't want to be the person that's paying so much more than what they're asking. That is your decision and we respect it, but be aware that you're starting in the negative. Of course. Okay. Very good. Very good. I understand. The housing market, just like any other market, comes up and goes down. And right now the interest rates are low. We're in a good market, but it can also go down at any time. Mhm. And then to sign off to close the segment, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that WHEDA is not a place where you go to apply. WHEDA is a place where you go and ask for a WHEDA loan from a bank. A lot of banks make loans for WHEDA loans. A lot of us have been around, or a lot of banks have been around for more than 50 years. It's a mission that we have to help first-time home buyers, to explain to the first-time home buyer. Remember, that's somebody that hasn't had a house in 3 years. If you haven't owned a house in 4 years or 3 years and 1 day, you're a first-time home buyer. So we're not just helping if it's your first time, we help all kinds of people. Even if you're not a home buyer, our WHEDA program is for anybody in the state of Wisconsin. So don't be confused and think it's only for Milwaukee. It's for the entire state. And we will provide, or Ellen, you will provide my information where you can call me and I will explain what I can help with. And I appreciate you and your organization for having the opportunity to be able to help the community. And everything is recorded so we can help so many people and listen to the process. This process is not easy, but what you're going to get at the end is the value is just incredible. And it's the only way to accumulate wealth in this country. Thank you so much, Alan. We appreciate all of your time. And one way or another, I hope to see you in person soon. And this was a really helpful series, and I hope that the audience received a lot of information. Thank you so much, Alan, and we're here to serve. Have a good day. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. That was Maria Watts with WHEDA. Let me look for the information to put it in the comments. Wow, I think we have a COVID segment. You can go ahead and put that on, please. I'm not sure. That's okay. Well, as long as we're talking about home buying and keeping your home, maintaining your home, I'm going to share my resource for today. I have a few resources. So we're going to talk about the organizations that Maria mentioned. So first, I want to show you guys the page for Take Root Milwaukee. Take Root Milwaukee is an organization that focuses on all the things that we talked about recently. How to keep your home, maintain your home, how to buy a home. So they have different resources. They're like an organization made up of other organizations that help, how to pay your mortgage, how to repair your home. They have financing resources. They have programs to make repairs. So we will put this in the comments for people that are watching, and they can see the website. If you have any questions, just communicate with us or them. I know they have workers that speak Spanish. And just go and explore the services that they have at Take Root Milwaukee. They did a series recently similar to what we did here, talking about how to buy a house, how to maintain your home, etc., etc. So let's do one more. The one that Maria mentioned. Here is UCC, or United Community Center. They also have resources for home buyers. They have counseling. If you're thinking about buying a home, they can help you in the process. They can counsel you. Like, let's say I want to buy a house. I tell the person, okay, I make $20,000 a year, 50,000, 30,000. I don't know. It depends on the person, and I want to buy a home. So I plan on being in this work for the next 30 years, 20 years. And then based on your income, that person can see your personal finances and, let you know, yeah, you can buy a house. Here are your options. Here are different programs, grants with the city, different options that you have for buying a home. So this is UCC. They're on the south side of the city. You can see their building from the highway from 43. And then I'm also going to talk about Riverworks organization. They can be found on on Holton, sorry, close to where I live, actually. Let me see their internet page. They do services that are similar to what UCC does, but they also offer home services, financing services, like in terms of how to maybe do a business. They can help with all of that. In general, Clarissa, that works with us right now, she's actually with Riverworks full time. So she can also help and talk about all of these different programs. If you're trying to buy a house, repair a house, those different kinds of assistance. How to prevent being displaced if you're in that kind of a situation. All right. Well, I just wanted to say also thank you to Trini Zapata, who tuned in today. She said hello. Thank you, Trine. Always here with us. And I love seeing your comments. Thank you to Miranda for interpreting, talking about amenities, and gave us the word in Spanish, and I couldn't remember it in Spanish. Thank you, Miranda. I also want to say congratulations to Andrea Rodriguez, who has been here in the comments for our program. She is going to continue her career and she'll be leaving SOC and continuing in other programs. She has been a key player and being here with you guys, helping with comments, also doing onboarding for the job. So I want to thank her as well. So with that, I'm going to finish up today's program. I hope to see you guys all next Wednesday, which will be July 7th. We will have Elsa Diaz Bautista, and she's going to talk about discrimination and how to prevent discrimination for disabled people. And I am seeing, well, I'm really excited for that show. So thank you so much. And then we'll see each other next Wednesday. Has this show been informative for you? What part of the forum could we make better or change? Let us know responding to a quick survey that can be found in the comments section. That way we can keep the program going for your residents. And thank you for tuning in.